Hello everyone, good evening. I am Keeli Kapadia, Regional Head of GirlScript Gujarat. It's an evening session of day 3. I welcome you all. Today we are going to talk about the most popular web framework, that is ReactJS. And for that we have Darsha with us again. And he is working as a front end developer at Upforce Tech. So I would like to welcome Darsh. I think there's some net issue. We'll just add Darsh in a minute. So yes, guys, tell us how was your day and like what what helps you in React and what is going on. Hi Shruti, hi Aniket. Yeah, so I'll just add Darsh. He's here. Hi Darsh.
Hi, hello everyone.
Yes, so you can start your session.
Okay. Let me just quickly share my screen. Okay. So, hello everyone. I'm Darsha. I'm currently a front-end engineer at Upforce Tech. So, for today's session, we will be covering routing in React. So, what things we will be doing? Let's get started. So, this will be our today's to-do. Like what we'll be doing. First of all, we will get to know about what is React Router, how to install React Router, then some of the basic terminologies which React Router uses, and we will implement routing in React app in our React. So basically, this is the React Router official website. So you can take a look it over here. So from here, you will be get to know about how React Router works under the hood. We won't be covering every single details, but we will set up the normal implementation of routing in our React app. So yes, what is React Router? So React Router is a standard library for routing in React. It enables the navigation among views of various components in React applications and allow changing the browser URL and keeping the UI in sync with the URL. So what basically it is, you will get to know about after some time as we go and set up this particular app. So here is the installation. You just have to open up your terminal. First of all, you need to create an React app using create React app. So you can go open up your terminal and you can write this command npx create React app, and you can name your app. I have named it to routing. You can just press enter and this boilerplate code will be uh, ready. So we are now ready for implementing routing in our application. So after that, you need to install React Router DOM library in this particular project. So for that, you need to install npm install, or you can just install React Router DOM as that shell. So what this will do, this will just make an entry in your package.json. I have also already installed this particular library, so I won't be doing. You have to do it manually. So once it is done, we can start with coding. So for now, what I have done is app.js will have some particular code snippet. I have removed every code, and I have created an components directory in which there is a file nav.js. This is basically our navigation. This will work as a navigation. But before that, we will be creating some of the components. Like first of all, the home component. Let's make a file, an index.js, and we will create an functional component over here named as home component. So let's just create one. So first of all, we will import React from the React library, and we will create an functional component as home, and we will just return an div element which says home component, and we will just export that home component by default. That's pretty much it. This is the home component. We will make the same setup in about component. So we will make another file about.js, and here we will be importing, changing this particular component name, and here we will be using about component. Here for export statement, we will export our about component. So this is our about component, and we will be creating another file which is a contact uh, component. So we will create an contact.js file, and we will make change over here, and text over here, contact component, and export statement over here, contact. So that's pretty much it. We have created three basic components: the home component, about component, and contact component. So what we want to achieve here is basically we want to showcase these three components in our navigation bar. So let me just quickly remove this particular code. So yes, so we have created a nav component over here, and which has an h1 element with text title, or you can just put it logo over here or something like that. So we will keep it like title, and we have created an ul component, another list, which has three components, three links like home, about, and contact. So let's see what it renders. And here is the app component. So app.js will have just, it will return the nav component, nothing more than that. So let's see by doing npm. You can do npm start, but I have used yarn, so I will do yarn start. Let's wait for the development server to open up. Okay, so it will just render the nav component. It should render, hopefully. Yes, it is rendering. So you will be seeing something different than what I am seeing, because I have included some of the stylings in this particular for this particular nav component. So here is the styling for the nav component. So nav component is declared inside the nav element, HTML element, and here in the app.js file, I have included stylings for this particular component. So that's why it is looking different. So yes, this is it. Here right now we are just rendering the about, contact, and home text, but we need to convert it to links. So what we will be doing inside the app.js file, we will import some of the routing components. Here are there. Here are there different React router components like browser router, route, link, and switch. So we will cover each and every router components in details. So what are they used for, and how we can make use of it for routing our for doing routing in our React app. So we can import from React router DOM. package which we have just installed it. So here we will need to import browser router as router and switch, and one is route. What this as will do, it will just convert the browser router name to a router. So we can use router instead of browser router. So browser router is a parent component. Here is the definition for browser router. What is it does? So browser router is a router implementation that uses HTML5 history API, which includes push state, replace state, and the pop state events. You don't need to worry about this all. So it is to make your UI in sync with the URL, and it's a parent component that is used to store all the other components. So what does this mean? So we will wrap this our nav component or the components which in which we need to perform routing. We need to wrap all the components inside this browser router. So what we will do? We will just write router. So here it is. So we won't be using browser router as we have converted that browser router into router, and we will call this router element. So router element will be the parent component. So inside of parent component, we will need to include the child components. So the child components which we will be importing are the nav component and other components like about, contact, and home. So let just import them. So we are importing home component from components directory, and we are targeting index.js because index.js is our home component which we are using here. Now we will be importing the about component. So about.js, and the last thing to import is the contact component. Here are the three components which we will be including. So write if we just call home component, about component, and the contact component right away, and just save the file, and let's see what it does. So it just render each and every components inside our directory. But what actually we want, if we are on the home page, we want to render home component. If we are on about page, we want about component. And if we want to render this contact component, we should be on slash contact. So, so if we are on slash about, we need to just render the about component. And if we want to render the contact component, it should be the URL should be slash contact. So this is what we want to achieve. So how we can do that? For that, this React Router DOM has provided us a specific route object which we will be using. So this is the route component. What this will do is included here. So route is conditionally shown components that renders some UI when its path matches the current URL. So what actually it is? So route will take path component, path that you want to give it to your URL. So we will call it as slash the root directory, and the component which you want to call in this particular path is the home component. So this is how we will call this for the about and the contact. So for about, the path will be slash about, and we want to render about component for slash about. For contact component, the path should be slash contact, and the component which should be rendered is contact component. So here it is. Let's see what it does. So we are basically on the root component, that is slash. So we are getting the home component. But if we visit the URL slash about, what we will be getting? oh, we are getting home component as well as the about component. But what's the actual state? We just want to render the about component while visiting the about URL. And let's see for contact. For contact, also we are getting a home component. What this route will do, it will check the URL and it will call the every routes which are included in this particular URL. So one route will be of slash because we have included slash in our URL, and another route will be slash contact. So the which slash we are calling an home component and which slash contact we are calling the contact component. So how we can uh, make it work? So what we can do is we can just wrap it inside the switch component. Switch will be again the parent component for route, and we will just wrap it inside this particular thing. And let's just see what it does. If I just refresh slash contact, we are still getting the home component. We are not receiving the contact component. And if we visit the about component, we are still getting the home component. So what this switch is doing? So basically switch component is used to render only the first route that matches the location rather than rendering all matching routes. So in the first condition, we were receiving if we are targeting slash about route. So we are receiving we are getting the home component rendered as well as the about component rendered. So what switch will do? It will just target the first occurring route and it will just call that particular component. So we are doing that. We are doing slash about. So the one route which is matching is slash. So we are every time we are getting the home route. So it won't go further and it won't check the other routes in switch. So to avoid this particular thing, we can use a, an extra parameter which we need to pass inside the route, which is known as exit. So if we pass it like this way, it will just see if the route matches slash, it will then only it will render this home component. Otherwise, it will go and check the other routes and it will render that particular element. So if we now go to the home directory, we are receiving the home component. But if we go to the about, we will be receiving the about component. If we go to contact, we will be receiving contact component. We actually wanted. So now we need to change our navigation bar and we just want all these things like about home, about and contact to be a link. So if I visit the home from the navigation bar, it should render the home component over here. If I click on about, it should render the about component. And if I click contact, it should render the contact component. So let's make some changes and let's see how it goes. Okay, so let's come inside the navigation component. So with uh, React Outer DOM library, we will be getting a link component. So what link component will do? Link component is used to create links to different routes and implementation navigation around the application. It works like the same way we are using anchor tag in HTML, but there are some differences. We will cover that differences afterwards. So let's just first import link component from the React Router DOM. Now we will need to wrap every single component inside the link component and the contact one. What link component will take as an argument? It will take a two as a parameter, and which which will take an route for which we need to render this particular to which we need to render this particular route. If we click on home, it will navigate us to the slash route, and for about we need to navigate to about page slash about, and for contact we need to navigate to the slash contact page. So yes, navigation works should now work let's see. So yes, here we are receiving the links. So if we click on home, it renders home component. If we go to about, it renders the about component. If we go to the contact, it renders contact component. Let's just style this particular element. So we will just name class name, and we will call it links. And the code for links is included inside our app.js. So here is the styling for that particular component, UI component. So here is how it works right now. So here's the navigation. So this particular thing works right. Okay. So as you can see, we are still getting color different. So we need to make use of styles over. We need to use inline styling over here. So what we will do, we will just call style element. And inside, if you want to do inline CSS in React, you just need to uh, code your CSS inside two curly braces. So like this way, and you need to pass color element as white. So we will just copy this particular code and we will just include it in every link tag just to make it look good, visible. Yes. So now as we can see, there are three navigation we can do, like home to render the home component, about to render the about component, and contact to render contact component. Here's the slash contact and we are getting a contact component. So this is what the routing, this is how we can route our components inside. We can perform routing inside our React app. So what's the difference between this link tag and an anchor tag? So uh, make an let's just wrap this home component inside the anchor tag. So what we will do, we will just call an anchor tag and we will pass this li element. And and as you know, anchor tag will take an href argument and we will just pass slash because it will just render the home. Let's just see this in action. So if I move to contact component, you won't be seeing the page refresh in any of the thing, but the app component about component will be rendered. If we go to contact component, the contact component will render. Just now take a look at this particular route. If we click on home, the page is refreshed for a while. See again. If we go to about, then if we go to home, just look it over here. The page will be refreshed, and then the component will be rendered. See, the page will be first refreshed, and the component will be rendered. So what link will do? Link will just will not refresh your whole page, but it will render the component as it is, like this way, and it will be a great experience while working while using this particular application. So yeah, that's pretty much it about how we can route this particular React app. So thanks for taking out some time during Sunday evening, and thank you so much. So these slides will be shared to you, and here are my social links. You can always reach out to me if you have any queries. So are there any questions?
Yes, there is a question from
Okay.
Anik, and he is asking why are we handling routes on client side?
Why we are handling clowns? What?
Route, why
Okay.
are we handling routes on client side?
Handling routes and client side. What exactly? Uh,
I think he's trying to ask that why are we handling the routes of tag.
client side. Yeah, client side routing. Why we are doing that particular thing? So there are multiple libraries which you can use. We are using this React router, and other routing libraries is the Reach router, which you can visit. And there are pretty much like we can also perform the dynamic routing using this particular library, React router, but we won't be covering it for today. And as far as your question is concerned, why we are doing client side routes? So client side routes are pretty much simple because while we render while we are doing server side rendering, it will just first render everything at once. But what this link element will do, once we are visiting that particular route, like slash about in our case, so it will just fetch that about component and it will render that particular component. But if we are doing server side routing, so what that will do, that will just bundle up everything, every component route, and it will just call it anyway. And while visiting, that component will be rendered. And for this, in this particular case, the about component will won't be rendered. But if you visit slash about, the about component it's called and it's rendered inside our application.
Okay. So guys, any more questions? Then please add in the comment section.
Yeah. So if you have any questions right now, you can ask or you can just contact me through any of the social media. I will be happy to answer your questions. And yeah,
So we'll move to the next section. That is information, and then there'll be a quiz. So as you
okay.
all know, GirlScript India Summit 2020 is from 18 to 20th September. And on 18th September, there'll be a hackathon, and on 19th and 20th, there'll be lines of sessions related to different technologies, which will help you in placements also. There are 21 under 21 awards for which you can apply. And to know more about the session and summit, you all can visit GoldScript Summit website, and to avail 10% discount, there's a referral code that I'm giving, and I'm even sharing the website link. So now I think we should move to the quiz part, and I'm giving the quiz link. So please, guys, join in.
Okay, so should I just left or should I just stay?
Uh, if you stay for a minute, 5 minutes, then that would be great.
Okay, okay. Hi Mohit. Yes, there are a lot of frameworks out there which uses React under the hood. So there are frameworks like Next.js, Gatsby.js. So for that, Next.js is super cool actually. Yeah, it handles the server side rendering as well, and it's so basically Next.js is a full stack platform. You can do anything you want to do with Next.js specific. And for Gatsby.js is a specific tool framework for creating static websites. So your question is exactly client side rendering is best or server side rendering best. So depends on what your application needs actually. So there is not a direct answer to this particular question like client side rendering is best or server side rendering is best. That depends on your use case, like what for what reasons you are using this particular website and how you want to uh, bundle up your code while someone visits and what things you need to take care of. So yeah, both are best. As you can see, we are performing client side routing over here, and that looks pretty cool as well. So we won't be refreshing at every point of time. It's as smooth as server side rendering routes. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay, so I think we should start the quiz now. And if there are any more questions, then we'll take it at last. Will that do?
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think there are five participants. Guys, please join in quickly.
So we have six participants. We will wait for 30 seconds and then we will start.
Yeah, cool.
So one thing I would like to clear before starting the quiz, that when you select the answer, then you have to submit it also. So please click the button on the lower right corner of your screen. So when the options are there on your screen. So we have seven participants. And I think it's good to start, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So first question on the screen. Summit of 2018 was held at where? So yesterday we have the question of 2017. So today we have a question of 2018. So GirlScript organizes summit at various places to keep the diversity in the nature of the summit. So it was held at various places. So for this year it is virtual. Oh, only one person answered correctly. That is Jayesh. And the correct answer is Nagpur. So, rolling out next question. Last year, GirlScript India Summit was held in. The last year means GirlScript India Summit 2019. Just is off the list, followed by Jan. Next question is on your screen. Which company sponsored the hashtag Hack for Women in Summit of 2019? So there was a hackathon organized by GirlScript in the Summit of 2019, which is Hack for Women Hackathon. So if you are a part of 2019 Summit, you must know because it was a pretty nice hackathon and organized by a very famous company. Let's see the leaderboard. So Mohit came second. The first is Jayesh, and the answer is Microsoft. So next question. Let's Spy is of how many days? So those of you who don't know, Let's Spy is a Python bootcamp organized by GirlScript. From beginner to expert user, the Let's Spy is a bootcamp to on your Python skills. Just tops the list. And the correct answer is two. So Let's Spy is a 2 day Python bootcamp. So if you are a beginner with Python and you want to uh, keep on practicing your Python skills, or you want to learn something new in Python, or if you are a complete beginner, then also I would suggest you should go to Let's Spy. So you will meet like-minded people. Next question, read it. Which is which of the following is a part of uplift project? I think the question should be which of the following is not a part of uplift project, because there are many projects which are the part of uplift, but which of the following is not part of uplift project? So uplift project is a project where students get mentored by the experts on the particular technology or particular skill. And time's up. So I took part in uplift for Node.js course, and it was pretty nice experience. So we built things and it was good. Okay, and oh, nobody answered the correct answer, which is big data with Hadoop, personality development, data science, and JavaScript was a part of Uplift project. Sorry for the uh, misspelling the question, but big data and Hadoop was not a part of Uplift project. So that was the last question. Be ready for the winner list. I think today's quiz was quite hard. Okay. So Jayesh is first, then followed by Mohit, and followed by Jan. So I hope you enjoyed the session and the quiz as well. Thank you.
So congratulations, Jai, and for this wonderful performance. And thanks everyone for joining us today. And thank you so
Thank you
much, Kelly, for
so
organizing
much.
this.
Thank you so much, Darsh, for explaining React routing so nicely. It was great having you here. And thank you so much, guys, for spending the evening with us. So we'll see you all tomorrow again with our last day, that is day 4, and it will also be on React. So we have a talk on 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. I hope you all will join in and have a great evening. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Okay. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.